it may be very hard for you to believe that I am a person who didn't have my script until this morning. But I'm doing reflections. Why? That I am procrastinating. And after hearing the first speaker's idea, I have thought, really, something related with the decentralization. You will see that it's a very recognized concept that even I myself, I don't truly construe it. But when I come to Chengdu No.7 High School, I found I used to be some student behind the sky. I used to be some person who is considered genius, but no longer. I'm now mediocrity. So, this is I myself in distance when I come to Chengdu No.7 High School. Probably no way. And being neglected, being marginalized, and I am now decentralized. This effect also adopts on the markets. For example, the second-hand trading market or peer-to-peer market. For example, eBay or 闲鱼, made by Alibaba. You see, these companies are great leads in our ways to trade. You used to pay a very high and expensive fee for those companies who transact your stuff to others. But now, with these things, you can buy and sell things conveniently. Another example, Bitcoin. You may have heard of this. It uses blockchain, and its main idea is transparency. Blockchain is something irreversible, and with this ability, every single transaction, every single idea, every single modification of the block will be permanently recorded. And that's why we believe that Bitcoin is the future trend. However, is everything really that healthy? When you're buying things on 闲鱼, do you think that everything is fake, apocryphal, untrue? Are you in duplicity? Do you trust the sellers? Or when are you buying Bitcoin? Do you really believe that it's deserved that much? Is that inner value attested? So, here you can see deceptions, cheats. You can see the minus of the values of Bitcoins. And never forget, with every single little move of the Bitcoin, the trend, a dream evaporated, a family evaporated, an account evaporated. Do you see everything is going to smooth here? But to that while, it is a huge mountain for them, with huge pressure. And what if I'm going to do some little summarization to this? It is two words, the blind trust and the non-trust. Do you really believe in the decentralization itself? Well, what is the answer? Do you really believe in decentralization? I'm afraid you don't. So do I. If I myself, I cannot tell myself that it is true. It is the future. It is the trend. Sometimes I feel I cannot just deceive myself because of this, because of the crashes, because of deceptions, potential risks. We are not relying on the decentralization itself. We are just profiting from that. And with this avaricious heart, we are losing the trust. And what even more worse, we do not admit the trust of that. Like, if you say that your grandmother is still alive, it's something terrible. It will be something horrible. If you try to revive your grandfather who is dead, it's gonna be frightening. So it is. We pretend that trust itself still remains alive, and that produces two monsters. That are the blind trust and not trust. In history, shall we go back to Netherlands Golden Age in 1637? People are speculating tulip. Tulip bulbs once rare and beautiful. You see, The things are connected with the values, and people are doing things on them. They claim that this is very valuable things because they believe so. And because of speculation, people are really feverish. And but anyway, sometimes the moment everything seems, and the succession has caused a huge problem. When the tulips on the buyer's hand are no longer valuable or no longer believed valuable, simply vanish. And with the vanish, the dream vanish, a nation vanish, and an era vanish. Then, with this catastrophe, with the collapse of the trust itself, we became into the age of none. Very terrible thing. People now detect tulip for any of the mania it once triggered, for the heart was brought to us. Now, please allow me to do some summarization to the mechanism of the trust. Tactically, we got blind trust, or actually I use one very recognized term, that's small trust, because the trust that is based on nothing is malicious. That is harmful to you. If you do credulity things, if you think that it is right, because I believe in it, you may think that a garbage deserves that much. You may look up to a garbage and say, oh, it is goat, because I claim it is goat. And somebody else got to claim it's goat too, because they want its value remains. And then, when everything goes bad, we are finally in the no-trust. The no-trust is a rule of the mole-trust, or the blind trust. This rule shows as a really indicator about how crazy we used to be. And, of course, it serves as a reminder of heartbreak. All these things are summarized as the engineer trust. Human beings are so familiar with depicting things. We got God curves. We got something that we believe that they should correctly and precisely predict. Do you really believe you can predict if your neighbor is going home at 7 p.m. this evening? Is any of those mathematics measures really useful? I don't know. I have no idea. But you can see, Netherlands was one of the most greatest countries in the world, with those scientists, with mathematicians, and they have made that mistakes. And we are not really dare to say we have breath everything. So, engineer trust is really a trap. But to fix it, we would like to reintroduce a new thing. That is heritage directly from our past. We call it standardized trust. Sometimes, in this age of decentralization, the things we are trying to neglect are the people. We forget behind every single account of Bitcoin, there lies a human, a people, a parent, probably a husband, with multiple identities. And this person might be solid, stalwart, lovable, and friendly to you. He's beloved, and he's full of love, probably. But when you're just looking at the data, they are simply considered the opposite to you. You have forgotten they are human, like you. We have no differences. The non-standardized trust asks us and call us to abandon the reason, to get rid of the numbers, the data, the constrictors. We are facing into each other now. And, ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, amigos, listen to me, please. Do you believe in your friends? Do you believe in some concepts? Or do you believe that you are beloved, always immersed in the law, I do. Ladies and gentlemen, please give me some applause to think about later. One final call. We need trust back. The unstandardized trust, rather than the trust toward money, trust toward data, trust toward numbers, trust toward algorithms. We believe without thinking, believe without verifying, invest before we can actually do some research on that. That's why we are so included. But if truly exists, yeah, I believe in the humanity. Humanity wants to lead us off all the problems, all the troubles, all the dilemma we want to be in. And I believe for this time, the trust can send us and deliver us from the dilemma once again. And in this hope, let us end the speech. As we leave this room, I hope you to remember trust. Really, our friends are always by our side, and we never be camouflaged or be deceived by those numbers again. Let's turn back to humanity. Thank you so much.